Hello and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Max and I'm happy to present you today's topic. We are going to talk about the latest RFID solutions that we have been working on at hopt+schuler for the past years. And yes, I'm excited to give you an overview of what we have been doing in this past 1 or 2 years. So let's jump in right away and get started. So we want to start off with taking a look at what's currently going on. So right now there's a lot of systems, a lot of infrastructure environment, existing infrastructure out there that needs to be updated, where there's no RFID or contactless interface possible at the moment. So that's one thing that's happening right now. The second thing is that obviously the product design is getting more and more challenging. We all want to have more and more sophisticated solutions, and this also translates into requirements for the technology behind it. So that's another important trend that we have to watch. And the third one, very important, is obviously COVID-19. This has been a big push towards more contactless and more contactless means of identification and also payment. So let's take it back a step and see, where we as hopt+schuler are coming from, what our RFID story is. So in 1971, hopt+schuler was founded by Mr. Hopt. So this year is actually our anniversary year. And a few years later, in 2005, we then have designed and developed and produced the first hopt+schuler RFID reader. And this reader was prominent and mostly used in access management in office buildings, and was a very good reader for this application. Then a few years forward to 2018, we then developed a new RFID reader specifically designed for the requirements of e-charging stations. And in between 2005 and 2018, we realized a lot of projects with our 882 series, which is our current RFID module. Then in 2019, we started the development and kick-off development of 2 new RFID modules at hopt+schuler. And those are the ones that we are going to focus on today. We approached it as we do any new development. We said, okay, we have the status quo. This is where the market, from our point of view, is developing, and these are the features, the targets that we want to achieve with our development. And one target that we wanted to achieve was we wanted that our module, the new RFID module that we create, is secure. So that not only the module itself, but also the communication to the external world of the module is a secured communication. So that was one thing. The second thing was we wanted it to be versatile. We wanted it to be able to be used in different applications and be able to match the requirements in those applications. We also wanted it to be easy to integrate. As we mentioned at the beginning, this is something that's happening right now a lot, where RFID solutions have to be implemented in existing environments. We also wanted it to be compatible to other hopt+schuler readers and also potentially third-party readers. We wanted it to be scalable so that it can be adjusted to the requirements that a certain application has. And we wanted to reduce the time to market for our customers so that they can be quickly with their development on the market and start to implement their latest solutions. So this is what we said, okay, with the new development of our new RFID and NFC module, these features, these targets, that's what we have to achieve. And how we have done this is what we're going to take a look at now. And this is what we have come up with, the 883 RFID and NFC module from hopt+schuler. It is a high-frequency RFID and NFC reader that supports all common RFID protocols. Now, obviously there's a lot of protocols out there in the world, and there's a few more that we are going to be adding to the list over the next year. But with what we have right now, we are able to provide all common protocols with this smart card, with this RFID reader. So let's take a look a little bit more in detail what we have done. We have integrated many different physical interfaces. We have the common one like USB and RS-232, but we also have added TCP/IP, so the Ethernet connection, and we have integrated an AEA and a coaxial connector. Now with this high amount of interfaces, we want to obviously achieve the fact that we want to be easy to be integrated. So if the preferred interface from your side is a USB interface, then feel free to use the USB interface. If the preferred interface is the TCP/IP, because of all the advantages that come with it, with having a direct IP, then we also can add it. You can also scale these interfaces depending on what kind of interfaces you need. You can add or remove one of the interfaces. We have integrated also two EAs to connect other peripheral devices or modules like a sound generator or a door lock, which then can be controlled with the module. We also have added a coaxial connector for the antennas, which we'll get to a little bit later. What is new to us is we have added the contactless interfaces of Wi-Fi. We have integrated a Wi-Fi connection, again here with the thought to make the integration into existing environments as easy and seamless as possible. So if you have, let's say, a building where you have no cable infrastructure available, then with the Wi-Fi connection it's very easy to connect and host this module in this existing system. With the BLE, with the Bluetooth connection, we achieve two things. We are able to have a contactless interface, like a USB interface with the module, so you can update it via Bluetooth, you can access the firmware via Bluetooth, so that can also all be done with the Bluetooth interface. And with the Bluetooth interface it allows new features with your end customer by, let's say, creating a specific app on the phone which then communicates via Bluetooth with our module. So this is a pretty big package that we have integrated, and as again, it can be scaled depending on what the requirements are. What we have also done is we have obviously have an internal or integrated antenna into the module, but we have also created a connection for an external antenna. And obviously this makes sense because of two reasons. One reason is if the user interface is on a different position than the position where the electronics is hosted, you might want to have an external antenna to gap that distance. But also if you want to have a specific antenna field, then you have the possibility to connect a customized antenna, either from DDM hopt+schuler or a third party, and connect it to the module. What we have also done is added a few more features, for example, like the SAM connector. So the SAM connector is there to directly load encryption keys onto the PCB. We also have a secure chip that has the DDM encryption loaded onto it, where you can easily encrypt the communication to and from the RFID module. We have added a second RS-232 connection so that it can be connected to other DDM devices or other third-party connectors. And we have integrated an LED driver so that visual feedbacks can be easily implemented into the device. Another very important part is the software. So we have our 883 module, and on top of that we have the DDM hopt+schuler software, which is loaded or is loaded onto the RFID module. Now with the software we have obviously our standard protocols, but we also, what comes with this is an SDK set where you have an implementation software, a test software where first tests can be done. Now the cool thing about having the DDM hopt+schuler run on it is again that the DDM hopt+schuler software runs on all DDM hopt+schuler devices. So the integration again is here very easy because the logic of the software is the same for each device. Some devices might have different commands because they have more or less features, but let's say the RFID command is the same for the RFID module as it is for an RFID ticket dispenser. So that comes really handy when you want to integrate a whole application and want to provide a complete system solution for a whole application. So if you think about, for example, a metro station, you have very different connection points with the end customer, with the user. You have the situation where he purchases his ticket, so you have to dispense an RFID ticket or an RFID card that has to be encrypted with the information that was done during the purchase. The customer then has to identify himself, for example, at the gate with the card. So this is where the example, the 883, would come in handy. And then as it progresses, at the end, the customer is leaving the train station or the metro station, and then the card has to be collected again. So all of this whole customer journey, in case of a metro station, can be done with DDM hopt+schuler solutions. And the great thing about it is that the software interface is the same logic for all of them. So the integration is really simple to be done with a system setup like this. Now we have also done, we went a step further and said, okay, we have the experience in our switches division that we already know for many years how to produce high quality customer facing parts. And we understand that in some applications where a contactless reader is implemented, customer facing surface parts are critical. So that's why we said, okay, why don't we use the experience that we already have in our switches division and apply it to our contactless card readers as well. For example, here in the picture you can see the 580 optical encoder from DDM hopt+schuler. It has an aluminum ring on the outside and a high quality surface, glass surface, and conveys a really great feeling of high quality product. Another device that I want to show you briefly is the 582 display encoder, and it's the same. It's also a rotary encoder and has an integrated display in it. So this shows that we already have the experience and the knowledge to integrate displays to create high quality designs, and we said, okay, let's apply this and use it for our contactless readers as well. And we have come up with the concept of a tabletop reader that also has a stainless ring in the optic of a stainless steel ring on the outside, a glass surface on the front with a black in black surface, meaning that when the integrated LEDs are turned off, you can only see a complete black surface, and as they're turned on, it kind of magically appears. We also have designed it in a way that it can be used as a tabletop reader, but also to be connected or mounted to a wall. So with this concept, we just want to show that and give the incentive to see, okay, we can act as a partner for complete solutions and also create high quality A-surface customer facing parts. So if we go back to the start when we said, okay, we want it to be secure, versatile, easy to integrate, scalable, compatible to other readers, and we want to reduce the time to market of our customers, then I think with all the features and the modular setup that we have created, we achieve exactly these targets. And this just shows on how many different applications we can support our customers with. For example, we have been very strong in developing solutions for on and off street parking. This is now a perfect addition in this sector. The same applies to access management, where since 2005 we are extremely strong. This is also an area where A-surface customer-facing parts are critical because it kind of conveys the image of the company from the outside. The gaming part, again here, customer guidance, extremely important to guide the customer where the physical interface is between customer and device. And there again, the work with LED and design is important to have a right guidance in such an environment. Also security, very important in this sector. And then our charging stations very recently have become really strong, I think, with the secure chip, with the different interfaces that we can provide. We as DDM hopt+schuler can provide as a strong partner in this sector. And last but not least, the public transportation, where we are naturally very strong with our complete setup of ticketing system here in this area. Again, the contactless reader is a great addition to give added value as a market and help you to integrate contactless applications into your devices. So all in all, we think it's a very exciting solution, and we hope it was interesting to you to see what we have done in the past, what we have been working on in terms of contactless solutions. Like I said, an SDK set is available. If you want to have more information, then feel free to contact us. We're happy to share the documentation with you. Yes, so I want to just add two things and give you a heads up on two things. One more thing is the 884 payment reader that we are really excited about. It's a PCI certified EMV level 1 and level 2 contactless reader, which will be hosting at the beginning of next year. We expect the certifications to be completed by March next year, and then we'll host another webinar for this product to give you all the informations on this solution as well. And I hope it was interesting and you liked and enjoyed our update on our RFID solutions at DDM hopt+schuler. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you soon. Thank you.